Sin, Survival, and Negativity. He comments on a lot of our stuff. Shouts to him. He says, is it too early to say Let God Sort Him Out as a classic? And how does everyone feel a classic earns status?
Oh, I like that.
It's funny.
I like that one.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Terry.
No, I was going to say just real quick. It's funny that he brings that up because whenever some songs from Let God Sort 'Em Out come up in my algorithm, it makes me go back and listen to the album.
Mm.
And it actually, to me, it sounds better now than it did when I first listened to it. It's like they have a lot of staying power behind this album. And even the songs that I didn't care too much about, like
Mike Tyson blew the face.
Well, that one didn't bother me
That was
much.
Me.
Yeah,
Long
okay,
hates
I'm
that
sorry.
one.
That was
Long hates that one.
the
I hate the
Beta song used to bother me a
I
little
like that
bit,
record.
but now I like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I could consider it a classic, but does Eclipse have any albums that aren't classics? Is the question.
Well, to this question first,
Mm.
I've always been a anti 24-hour classic person. I think that's the biggest.
Has it been 24 hours?
Well, you know what I mean.
It's been
You
over
know
a
what I
I'm
mean.
an
sir.
anti.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's my question. Has it been 24
365.
hours?
I see where you're going.
I'm an anti 365 day
I
classic.
hate when people jump out the window and call a record a classic because we've been around long enough to know that a classic ages well, and it gives you the opportunity, to Terry's point, to go back to revisit, and you might learn new things about a record that you previously had a different opinion on. I think those are the records that end up timeless. Now you get some where it's like, I mean, when I heard B, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
there's no misses on this record. I don't want to jump out the window, but it still sounds the same as it did when it came out.
Yeah, that's like
You know
below,
what I'm saying? Like,
Below the Heavens. I liked every single song
Every once in a while,
immediately.
you get a Doggy
And it's
Style
like-
or something like that, where
it's
it's
like,
like, nah, this one is, we ain't got to worry
Let
about it.
God Sort 'Em Out to be was like, there were records on there I didn't really like. I thought I think the album was good, but
I thought it was good too.
I haven't been back to it. So
I can say this though, like we just talked about Outkast, and I consider Southern Playalistic a classic, but there are songs on there that I don't like. As a super fan of Outkast,
Agreed.
and I still would say it's a classic. So
Well, I consider Straight Outta Compton a classic, and there are songs that I haven't listened to since it came out.
yeah,
I mean, I haven't listened to Something to Dance to.
yeah, me.
You know, that's not one of the classic albums. Don't have to be perfect.
But
Yeah,
classic
no, they
albums
don't.
also have, to your point, it's about aging well, but it's also about, sometimes we look at the record for the time that it came out and its impact, how it was received. There are a lot of records that, prime example, The Minstrel Show. When The Minstrel Show came out, to me, I went and bought it. Drove to Indianapolis and bought it. Started listening to the record because little brother fan. I'm like, yo, this record is long. It's a little bit longer. I can't remember how many tracks is on it, but the record was amazing. And it's one of those time slot records where I can go back and be like, I know exactly where I was when I went and copped it. I sat with it. I listened to it. I talked to Lone about it. I talked to everybody that was Little Brother fans about it. And it's stood the test of time. To me, that's a classic record.
I think classic is such a subjective thing based upon whoever
exactly.
it is. I think when it comes down to it, that's how I would answer this question. Like, you know, Minstrel Show's a classic to me because of where I was when I heard it and all those things. You know what I mean? Murs 316 is a classic to me. Let God Sort 'Em Out isn't. To Pimp a Butterfly is. Section 80 is. You know, Good Kid, Mad City is to me. You know what I mean? But there's I would even say Little Brother's last album, May the Lord Watch, is probably a classic
Good
album.
album. That's a
Vontae got
damn
some
good album.
classics on his solo joints. To me,
Yeah. So but you know, it's just
Yeah,
Some-
Charity
some-
Starts
some-
at Home is a
That's
classic.
a damn
Yeah,
good
yeah.
album, man.
sometimes when I think of like the whole conversation around classics, sometimes it's just kind of a silly conversation, if I'm gonna be real, because it's like, who really cares? But you know, if it's good, it's good. You know,
Yeah.
like I
people 100%
I
care
don't know.
though.
Yeah, I mean, Fashawn's Boy Meets World is a classic. There's no,
I've heard you say that
There's no
before.
skips on that album.
Yeah.
You know, like there's
Yeah.
there's just a lot of really good
Yeah.
stuff that I'm gonna me specifically I'm gonna go back to. You know, like Live from the Tape Deck would be one for me, but I can see how some people would not necessarily like that because it's a little different from
I
all
can see
Skyzoo
how
stuff.
I think TM 101 by Young Jeezy is a classic.
100%.
I understand where
I can't argue with you.
I understand
100%.
where some people would just be like, yeah, I wasn't there for that. And I but I can still go back and listen to that
100%.
record.
I can't-
Like he talked about Skyzoo. To me, Theo versus JJ
There you go.
Yeah.
is a classic to me because of the messaging and how there's two sides. He's telling two different stories. This shit was fire. But like, does a classic have to have unskippable records?
No.
Like I said, I'm not asking for the record to be
I just don't care.
perfect.
I think it just depends.
I don't think so.
I think for me, for the most part, yeah.
But I think
the way that I classify them, you know, like
for me saying no goes to Lone's point about it being subjective because everybody's criteria is
subjective,
right? So if it's 12 and I got 10 and a possible, I'm gonna take that.
It just depends. It depends. Like I can say Aquemini is, even though there's like 2 records I don't like on it.
Classic.
Like Water for Chocolate, I don't like
you hate
a film called Pimp.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
I know exactly what you're gonna say.
I don't like that one, you know, but it's
because I don't like it either.
But it's my favorite hip hop album. Yeah. You know,
and I'm biased too because the only Outkast album I could say that I don't consider a classic is Idlewild.
Yeah.
And this got heat.
So it's just like there's so many subjective pieces. Like I think Below the Heavens has no skips, but I think like Water for Chocolate's higher.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
but it's
like,
still a classic.
Still a classic.
There's no logical sense in it. I don't know. It's just.
But I love the question though.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I love the conversation for sure. Appreciate that one. That's dope.